This movie, it bothers me. It really bothers me. Jean Grey bothers me.
Roman and Ruben's reaction!
Hey, this is Roman.
And Ruben.
And we are doing a full deep dive into Spider-Man Brand New Day.
Not that deep.
Right. What did you think of Spider-Man Brand New Day?
Well, I didn't take notes like I normally do, so I'm not as prepared, so please forgive me. In general, I give the movie a 7. It is doing really good at the box office. It's phenomenal. As of today, as we're recording this, which is the 11th, Spider-Man Brand New Day has smashed box office expectations, grossing $671.2 million domestically and 1.6 billion globally. Holy crap. So this is a movie that's not necessarily for everyone. It potentially was for someone like me, but I didn't like the writing very well. There was a lot of dead space. There was a lot of Peter Parker being depressed and lonely, and I know that there's like a hero's journey, and sometimes like a superhero is there's always a part of him that's always going to be alone because no one can understand what he's going through. As someone with these special abilities, with this amazing amount of responsibility, a weight he may carry on his shoulder, especially trying to keep people he cares about safe. I didn't like seeing him down at the dumps like that. I don't understand what he sees in his best friend. I kind of find him to be kind of annoying. That's just me. I don't understand why MJ would have him be like a best friend of hers unless he was gay. I don't think his character is gay.
No. In fact, he had a little romance in Spider-Man Far From Home.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
I just felt like the writing could have been a little bit better. It was entertaining. I mean, the fight scenes were great. The fighting choreography was great. The graphics were great. I did not like Jean Grey in this. Jean Grey is supposed to be very beautiful. Character, no offense to the actress, seemed kind of basic to me. Her older sister, who I'd never heard of, was even more of a basic B. Again, no offense to her. This ability where it's almost like possession, jumping from person to person. I've never seen that before in any of the comics. I've never seen that in any of the animated series or any of the movies or anything like that. That seemed kind of out of place. I don't recall Jean Grey ever being a bad guy in this capacity. Also, I feel like it kind of throws the timeline off a little bit because Jean Grey should be probably in her 60s in the year 2026. And she's a teenager, so that throws everything off for many reasons, because like Magneto, for example, as we mentioned, Magneto is supposed to be a Holocaust survivor. So how does that work? It's throwing some things off here. That's kind of why I appreciated in X-Men, what was it when they were kids again? Was it First Class?
Oh, X-Men First Class, yeah.
So very important facts were not contradicted, like the fact that Magneto was a Holocaust survivor. I don't know. And of course, it's no secret that I'm not really a fan of Zendaya. Don't hate her. She's not my cup of tea. But yeah, it was okay. It wasn't bad. I don't see myself seeing this movie again personally. But my opinion is irrelevant in this case because this thing is already grossed over $1 billion. And it's projected to make more. Good for them. It's also good for the movie theaters, because if Hollywood is making movies that no one wants to go see, the movie theaters are going to suffer. And I love the movie theater going experience. So, good for them for making a movie that the masses seem to feel is worth seeing more than once. And I hope it makes more money. So that's kind of what I think. Sorry, I'm not more prepared. What did you think?
I think as I think more about the film, the less I like it. Like you said, with it being such a success at the box office, I think it would be pretty bad if Spider-Man Brand New Day bombed at the box office.
Yeah, it would.
Really, really bad, because Spider-Man is one of the most popular figures in the world.
Yeah.
In all media. I would say the thing that I will give points to, I think the costume, I think they got it right 100%. This is the best that Spider-Man has ever looked. He's in the costume a lot of the film. I love the animated eyes where you get that expression. You could even see his eyes behind the whites of the
Yeah, you could.
the lenses. You really could. I think that the effects were very well done. The fight choreography really reminded me of the PlayStation 4 video game, and as I understood it, in researching it, that they did work with some of the designers on that game
I didn't know that.
to give it that look, that authentic Spider-Man fight sequence look. I just feel like it was kind of like a nothing burger. It was something that, as much as it had in it, there wasn't really a lot of story there.
It really wasn't.
And you didn't really have a villain per se. Like, it was very high stakes. You didn't have something high stakes for Spider-Man. I don't mind that Spider-Man has problems, but I felt like it just seemed very artificial. The dialogue between the characters, I felt like Ned said things that just normal people wouldn't say when they're talking. I also felt like the character of the Hulk, I felt, was just pasted in there. It felt like a
Yeah.
studio just said, well, we need to put the Hulk in the film. It was a fun fight, no doubt, and it was entertaining. I think he looked great. I think the Hulk looked great in the film. Again, the visual effects, I think, were very much on point. Jean Grey, this is a big mark on this film. It felt, again, artificial, pasting the Hulk onto it, pasting an X-Men character like Jean Grey into the film. She was pretty much a terrible person in this movie.
Yeah.
There's literally a scene where she's going around possessing people, and she possesses an older gentleman. And next thing you know, you see a vehicle hit the older gentleman. You don't know if he was injured. You don't know if he died.
Wow.
Especially when you think Marvel, when they did the Captain America Civil War, and the whole point of that movie was the innocent bystanders that get swept up in all of this superhero business. And it just made me think about that. It was just kind of like, if she's going to be a hero, Dark Phoenix is one thing, but Dark Phoenix is a cosmic entity. I just don't think that this would be a part of Jean Grey's who she is. Especially prior to she didn't start out as a villain. She's not like Rogue. She didn't start out like in the Brotherhood of Mutants and then she became an X-Men character. So there's a lot of issues with it. I felt like, again, no mark on Sadie Sink. I've not seen Stranger Things. This is really my first introduction to Sadie Sink. But I felt like Jean Grey, she did not bring the weight to Jean Grey. I didn't feel like she brought the real emotion that the character would have. So it does make me a bit concerned for the X-Men, the upcoming X-Men movie. I feel like when they do the X-Men movie, they're just going to have to completely rewrite this character of Jean Grey. They're going to have to make it almost like, they're probably not even going to reference the Spider-Man Brand New Day movie or her, her history in this movie, because again, it's just, I think it's such a bad, it just really presents Jean Grey in a horrible light. I think the writing was a little off in this. I'll give the director, he did a great job in it. And then I also think that the visual look of the film, I love the vertigo sequences of all the skyscrapers. I think it really gave you that feeling of being up in the air with Spider-Man swinging through the buildings. I would give this film a 7 out of 10. I still stand at that because 7, it is entertaining on a lot of levels. Again, happy to hear that it's making so much money. It's great for the cinema, like I said, but it's like a piece of bubble gum. You get that initial sweet flavor, and then it just goes away after like 2 minutes or 2 hours and a half.
Oh my God, this was the longest movie ever. It seemed like I was like, I had to pee so bad at the end.
So was your spider sense tingling all throughout the last
Something
hour
like
of the
that.
film?
Also, like, just to make one more thing I noticed, there was a lot of scenes in the movie where I was like, what was the point of even this? Like, there was a scene towards the beginning where he was visiting that character, Elena, in that...
Oh, Yelena
Yelena.
Belova, the Scarlet, not the, I almost said the Strawberry Fox. The Black Widow, sorry.
Timu Scarlett Johansson. You know, he went to see her to get some advice or whatever to kind of help solve this mystery. And, you know, she's like, you have to get into the pool with me first or whatever. And he does. And then she says a whole lot of nothing, basically. And I was like, maybe possession. You may leave now or whatever. And I was like, what the point was even that? But then there was a lot of showing off Tom Holland's body, which, you know, a lot of people aren't really going to complain about that. But there's something about it that seemed kind of awkward to me. Like, I did feel kind of uncomfortable, to be honest with you. I kind of felt like he was probably being punished because well, I'll just go ahead and say it. He probably is not giving up the goods in Hollywood. I don't know. There was just something about it that was. I just felt uncomfortable. Like, what did you think about that? Like, it happened a lot. And I mean, even Thor had a moment where he was showing off his hard work in the first Thor movie. That's okay, fine. Immortalize this moment. Like, he worked really hard to get to that level of bulkiness and everything. Might as well show it off. There was something about it that kind of felt like he was being punished. In my personal opinion, I could be wrong. Please let me know what you guys think about that. I mean, if I had a body like his, I would probably feel comfortable showing off to a certain extent. But there was just something awkward about it, and I just felt uncomfortable.
It didn't bother me so much. I mean, like they had the scene in American Werewolf in London, where the lead character he turns into a werewolf, then he wakes up like in a what is it, a wolf cage at a zoo, and then he doesn't have his clothes on. He's got to walk
Yeah.
away in a little like a woman's jacket, basically.
And like kids' balloons or whatever. Like,
Well,
what
he
was it?
uses the kid. He stole the kid's balloons,
I
and
haven't
then
seen that movie in ages.
he steals a woman's coat. So he's in a woman's
It was
coat.
funny.
It was funny, and yeah, it didn't bug me so much. But I agree with you on the whole. You have to strip down and keep your mask in the pool with Yelena Belova. It just didn't really make a lot of sense.
It's like they made that scene just to have him get naked, basically. So, or next to naked. I don't know. I felt a little uncomfortable personally.
Yeah, but they were giggle moments. I mean, definitely in the theater, people I think were amused by it. So
Yeah, they were. There, a lot of people were laughing. Like the jokes seemed to land to the vast majority of the people in the audience. So, I mean, again, just because it wasn't really for us doesn't mean that it wasn't for the vast majority of viewers. So,
I'm just surprised that like I like Masters of the Universe more than I like this, and it was a kind of a bomb at the box
that was
office, and
such
then
a wasted
and then here
opportunity. Oh my
Spider-Man
God.
Brand New Day is just soaring through the skyscrapers over $1 billion, swinging through the weeks. But that's a separate story. But this
Here,
movie, bothers me. It really bothers me. Jean Grey bothers me.
and not just that, like the things that she was doing, the real Jean Grey would not do this ever. She's a kind soul, okay? And maybe if the Phoenix was in play here, maybe that's one thing, but the Phoenix is not there. This is 100% Jean, supposedly, and Jean would never act like this. She's always been a kind soul. If she harmed anyone, she would rather harm herself before hurting someone else. And it was ridiculous. And like you said, she pretty much killed that old man. And one more thing, sorry. We were discussing how we watched very little commentary from other creators about this because we wanted our reaction to be completely authentic. Even though other content creators might have better phraseology than us, and they may know more about the background. And there was a content creator, you might know who we're talking about, who said that this is an example of feminism without the consequences. That is interesting, again, because like I said, Jean Grey would never do this stuff. So,
Well,
sorry.
I mean, a good ending for the movie would have been if Professor X at the last minute had just like before the end credits just rolled in and mind wiped her.
And
And then he could have completely erased Jean Grey as we know it in Spider-Man Brand New Day.
that would have been perfect. That would have been perfect.
In fact, she could have gone super evil at the end of Spider-Man Brand New Day. She could have killed multiple people. She could have killed the guy, the head of the damage control.
That makes sense.
And then Professor X could have you didn't even have to see Professor X. You could have just seen a man heard a man's voice and see the back of a bald head and a wheelchair, and he could have said like, I see potential in this one.
Yeah.
And then she's out cold, and then he just puts his hand over her forehead, and then she wakes up and she's like, where am I? And
Her personality would be different. He did this for
yeah.
Rogue, basically,
Yeah.
because Rogue, in addition to absorbing Ms. Marvel's, endurance and flight and physical strength and everything, she also absorbed her permanently, her essence, and there's no way to remove it. So Professor X basically muted her and locked her away in a cage. So Rogue knows that she's there, silenced, and there's nothing they can really do about it. It could have been a similar thing. He could have extracted those memories from her, the aspects of her personality that led to her doing these
Right.
horrible things, and just created a separate entity inside of her, locked it away, and silenced it. And
We would have been overjoyed. It was a flaccid ending for Spider-Man Brand New. Yeah, Jean Grey, I think, should have been sucked out, like her mind and everything, and just the memory wiped away. Now that I think of it, to make Spider-Man Brand New Day better, again, an end credit stinger. Peter Parker bumps into some blonde-haired girl, and she says, "Oh, I'm sorry," and he goes, "Oh, are you headed to class?" And she's like, "Yeah, I'm headed to this room." And he's like, "Here, let me get your books." And they end up going to the same class, and the book that she's carrying, like, it has her name on it, and it says like Gwen on it.
Gwen who?
Gwen Stacy, my friend.
I forgot who Gwen Stacy is.
That's a major romance for Peter Parker.
Oh.
Because in my opinion, MJ's just done. She's just done. She's done. She's absolutely done. She does not have any interest in Peter Parker. And Peter Parker has a ton of women, like girlfriends. He's always got girls chasing after him. And in this one, it's like there's nothing. He's lonely. He's depressed. Just give him an out, for the end of Brand New Day. Give us hope at the end of Brand New Day. There's just a number of things that bugged me about it. Hulk didn't have purple pants. That was a major. That was a big bother. Authenticity. He's got this little regulator on him, like a little house arrest cuff on his arm, basically. And I mean, like, what happened to Smart Hulk? He got it all down, like he did yoga or whatever, and he was the Smart Hulk. And
yeah, what happened to him?
He merged the brain and the brawn, like he said in Avengers Endgame. And here he is, it's Mark Ruffalo,
Nah. Why is bring back Eric Bana? He was a much better Hulk.
Yeah, exactly. Or Edward Norton. Bring Edward. Or I'll even take a Lou Ferrigno at this point. So
yeah, totally
CG him, but give us Lou Ferrigno. But yeah, so there was a number of things that bugged me about the film. And again, I would have taken any number of little end credit stingers, Miles Morales, and then the end credits, man, just pathetic. I mean, it's a video game graphic. It looks like a mobile phone graphic. We waited like a good, I'd say, 10 minutes of credits so that we could, with a lot of people that deserve to be on those credits. They did a good job. They worked hard on this film. But the end credits was just nothing. There's nothing on the end credits.
Say it with me. Peter Parker is Spider-Man. Miles Morales is Miles Morales.
Again, though, I think a lot of people would have been biting their fingernails and squealing with anticipation if Miles Morales or Spider-Man 2099.
There's a lot of people who would have for sure.
Or Spider-Gwen, anything, any variant of Spider-Man. So
not the one in the wheelchair. Wasn't there a Spider-Woman in a wheelchair? I think there was.
No.
I'm pretty sure.
No,
it may have been in a more recent iteration of Spider-Man comic books. If there is, we'll put it right there. Ah, I'm right. I'm assuming I'm right.
Yes. Okay.
I generally am.
Yes. But please give us your second, your third, your fourth thoughts on this. You people out there, you genuinely, I can see that you really support us. I really do appreciate that you watch the short films and you watch our reactions and our interviews. It really makes a big difference to have you and tell us what you want to see. If you want to see Ruben in a short film, I'll put him in a short film where he's eating a slice of pizza.
Makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
We will be doing more reaction videos in the near future. We haven't fully discussed it yet, but we'll probably be watching all of X-Men 97. We've already done one review. Stay tuned for that. For the first episode. I think right now they're halfway through the second season, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, they're almost done.
Yeah. Now, full disclosure, I have seen a lot of clips out of context, so I will be reacting to this movie, the series for the first time, but I will see some things that I've seen in memes and other content creators have taken that scene and inserted it into a video. So I have seen some spoilers. I do have a vague idea what's going to happen, but it will be my first time watching it. I really want him to watch a series called Primal. I think that was an amazing series. Maybe Invincible.
Yeah.
I bought the first season, but I haven't watched it yet, so I think we'll hold off. So we
gotta get you on watching that, man.
What else do you think we should react to?
I think we should react to some movies, maybe like some old school movies that you've never seen, old school movies I've never seen.
I've never seen Pulp Fiction, so we might react to that one.
Pulp Fiction is a good one. Toxic Avenger.
Toxic Avenger?
That's a classic.
I don't think I've ever heard of it.
Nightmare on Elm Street, the original.
I've seen probably the first half of it years ago. We can react to that. I love scary
Halloween,
movies.
1978, the original one with Jamie Lee Curtis.
I never saw the original one.
Oh, dude, it's my favorite film of all time. We got to get you on
Really?
that boat. Yes, it's my absolute. I love that movie. It's my favorite
Okay,
film.
what do you think quickly off the top of your head? What are your top three favorite movies? Just in no particular order.
I would say, of course, Halloween.
Mm.
I'd say Empire Strikes Back,
Mm-hmm.
and
Oh, good one.
and I would say RoboCop because
Classic.
no matter what happens, no matter what time of the day it is, I can see RoboCop. Just put it on and just
Mine, Serenity, South Park, Breaking Longer and Uncut, White Chicks.
Very good.
Now, if I did top 10, but
Yeah, why don't you suggest what movies
Yeah,
and
make some
TV shows
suggestions.
that
Yeah.
we should react to? What do you want to see our faces just reacting to?
The movies will make me roll my eyes like, oh my God.
Yes,
You
make you
know?
roll the eyes.
Why do they think this is a good idea?
Exactly. Give Ruben an expression like he should be.
I'll be like, the person who's portraying the comics looks nothing like this person. Why did they pick this person?
And why aren't there underwear on the outside of their tights?
We've already discussed this.
That's
The
my
only
argument.
person who can wear underwear outside their costume is Britney Spears in the I'm a Slave for You video. Otherwise, it just looks
But don't forget to,
like, share, and subscribe.
and we'll see you again for more reactions, reviews, and interviews. Stay cool, my friends. Thwip, thwip.
I didn't do the shocker this time.
Thank God.